Charles Strickland, a London stockbroker, abandons his family to pursue painting, devotes himself entirely to art, and dies in poverty and loneliness, leaving behind powerful works.
Ordinary life in London. Charles Strickland, the protagonist, was an ordinary stockbroker living in London. His life appeared stable and comfortable. He had a loving wife, 2 children, and a respectable social standing. To the outside world, he seemed like a model of normalcy, reliable, disciplined, and ordinary. Yet beneath this facade, Strickland felt a deep sense of dissatisfaction. The routine of his daily life, the endless meetings, social obligations, and predictable comforts left him feeling trapped and restless. Hidden in his heart was a burning desire for something beyond material security, a passion for art that he had long suppressed, waiting for the moment when he could finally break free from the confines of ordinary life.
Sudden abandonment of family. In middle age, Charles Strickland made a decision that shocked everyone who knew him. He abruptly abandoned his wife and children. Without warning or explanation, he left behind the comfort of his home, the warmth of family, and the stability of his familiar life. Society would have called it scandalous, even immoral. Yet Strickland seemed entirely indifferent to public opinion or social conventions. His heart was set solely on one pursuit, painting. He embarked on a journey to Paris, driven by a consuming desire to dedicate himself entirely to art. This drastic choice stunned friends, acquaintances, and neighbors alike, revealing the depth of his rejection of ordinary life and the extreme intensity of his artistic ambition. It was a turning point, marking his irrevocable departure from the world of the mundane and his entry into a life governed entirely by creative obsession.
Artistic pursuits in Paris. In Paris, Strickland began to study painting in earnest, but life was harsh and unforgiving. He lived in extreme poverty, often struggling to afford basic necessities and had no steady source of income. His days were consumed entirely by painting, leaving little room for social interaction or worldly concerns. Strickland's personality during this period became increasingly solitary and cold. He shunned friendship, ignored admirers, and even turned away those who genuinely cared for him. Nothing could distract him from his work, not hunger, illness, or the harsh realities of life. Every brush stroke, every canvas absorbed his complete attention and energy. This stage of his life highlighted the stark contrast between Strickland and ordinary people. While others pursued comfort, stability, and social approval, he was driven solely by the inner compulsion to create. The hardships of daily life seemed irrelevant to him, dwarfed by the intensity of his artistic obsession. Paris was both a crucible and a sanctuary. It exposed him to suffering, yet provided the space in which his true artistic nature could emerge.
Creative peak on Tahiti. Strickland eventually traveled to Tahiti in the South Pacific, seeking a place far removed from the constraints of European society. Life on the island was harsh. He faced physical discomfort, tropical diseases, and the challenges of living in isolation. But it also offered him an unparalleled sense of freedom. Surrounded by raw nature and vibrant landscapes, he found the inspiration that had long eluded him in Europe. On Tahiti, Strickland produced his most powerful and striking works. His paintings were primitive in style, yet brimming with vitality, reflecting both the intensity of his inner world and the raw beauty of his surroundings. He lived entirely for his art, indifferent to social norms or human judgment, almost completely cut off from the world. To outsiders, he appeared cold, lonely, and selfish, a man detached from humanity. Yet through the lens of art, he was a figure of absolute freedom, liberated from societal expectations and wholly dedicated to the pursuit of his vision. This period represented the culmination of his artistic obsession, illustrating both the extreme sacrifices required for genius and the transcendent power of creative expression.
Death and artistic legacy. Strickland ultimately died in solitude and poverty on Tahiti, far removed from the comforts and connections of ordinary life. Yet despite his harsh end, he left behind a body of work that would resonate with generations to come. His paintings were not merely images on canvas, they were powerful expressions of his inner world, raw and uncompromising, capturing the essence of life, nature, and human emotion in ways few could replicate. His life serves as a testament to the extreme cost of pursuing one's ideals with absolute devotion. He sacrificed family, social ties, personal comfort, and even his health, demonstrating that true artistic genius often requires a willingness to forego the ordinary rewards of life. At the same time, Strickland's story illuminates a profound philosophical truth: the tension between reality, the sixpence of money, family, and stability, and the pursuit of ideals, the moon of personal vision and artistic fulfillment. People must choose their path, whether to seek security or to chase their dreams, and each choice carries its own rewards and consequences. Strickland chose the moon, and though his life was marked by hardship and solitude, his artistic legacy endures as a beacon of passion, courage, and creative freedom.
At the heart of The Moon and Sixpence lies the tension between ideals and reality. The sixpence symbolizes worldly concerns, money, family, and societal stability, while the moon represents artistic vision, personal fulfillment, and the pursuit of one's deepest dreams. Strickland's life exemplifies what can happen when one chooses the moon over the sixpence. The pursuit of a higher calling often comes at the cost of comfort, relationships, and conventional success. The story also explores the themes of solitude and obsession. True artistic dedication, as shown by Strickland, frequently requires isolation and sacrifice. His relentless commitment to his craft leaves him estranged from the ordinary world, emphasizing the extreme demands of genius and the personal toll it exacts. Finally, the narrative reflects the contradictions of human nature. Strickland is at once cold, selfish, and unfeeling toward others, yet he is also entirely devoted, pure, and uncompromising in his artistic vision. Through his life, the narrative presents a complex portrait of human ambition, desire, and the struggle between societal expectations and inner calling. In the end, the novel invites readers to reflect. How far are we willing to go to pursue our own moon? And what are we willing to sacrifice along the way?